This don't. Perfect timing.
No, this is ridiculous, Johnny. Becky's right. This don't. Come on.
The sassy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans. Renee, who are you to speak ill of the sassy Southern Belle? This is a lady.
Well, isn't this just adorable? Natty, I admire your determination. But the Raw Women's Championship couldn't possibly be around the waist of a classless has-been such as yourself, sweetheart. Now you two nasties need to stop all this nonsense discussing a possible title match amongst each other. Because a lady knows how to curry favor and use her influence to get exactly what she wants. And now that I am officially on Monday Night Raw, what I want is that Raw Women's Championship. And Natty, I have the authority, per the McMahons, that your next match will be against me.
Do whatever it takes to get ahead. That you like to, what is it, curry favor backstage? Well, how about I do these people a favor and kick your ass all over Los Angeles?
Lacey Evans is not a hard woman to find. And the one thing we've learned about Lacey Evans, she is not afraid to stand up to superstars here in WWE.
Lord, would you look at that? Nobody cares, honey. Becky, once again, you've got it all wrong, honey. I make you mad because you just don't understand me. Don't act like you know who I am, honey. You see a tall drink of water, a pretty little outfit, and a classy hat. And yes, I am classy. But deep down, this flawless image is a tough as nails woman who has been through things even the man could never comprehend.
All right, Lacey, is this the part where you change direction and you try and pluck on the people's heartstrings? Well, we are in Hollywood, so why don't you give us a little performance? Go on.
Speaking of Hollywood, Lord, this little town should make a movie about me. After all, my entire life is quite the story. And while I am not just a lady, and unlike you, I'm actually a real United States Marine. I could attend boot camp by morning and run a cotillion by night, sweetheart. And do it all with dignity and grace.
Lacey, I know your story, which makes it even harder to figure out why you do what you do, why you attack from behind, why you sucker punch at every turn. Now, I certainly respect who you were, but who you are currently is nothing but a pile of steaming trash.
Oh, honey, I do it because it's what the women's division needs. It's what all of WWE needs. They need a legitimate, confident, classy lady to set the proper example as champion, not some nasty like you. You see, Becky, you are beatable. After all, I've already made you lose one of your precious titles. And Sunday, at Stomping Ground.
Now, that's the build up to Stomping Grounds. So, my question for you is, did you watch Stomping Grounds? Oh boy, y'all, welcome to Wrestling in Color. It's me, Stephanie, and we're gonna run through Stomping Grounds. I actually took one of my viewers' advice and I took notes so I won't be stuttering and trying to figure out what I want to say. I know what I want to say because it's all right here. So this is probably the first time I actually took notes for a pay-per-view, because I usually just watch them once. There's no pay-per-view as of late that I watch more than once. So if you caught my last video, it was a prediction of Stomping Grounds, and it was a quick review of Extreme Rules, which this Stomping Grounds set up some other things in the process. And unfortunately, there are going to be some feuds that just won't go away. So I'm going to go back and forth to my predictions and the winner. And let's see how many times did I get it right. Okay, listen. We're going to start with the Cruiserweight because that was apparently the pre-show, which I didn't watch. Let me tell you that right now. Apparently, I picked... If you, like I said, go back and listen if you want to have a little bit of fun. It was a quick video. I picked as my prediction for the Cruiserweight to be Drew Gulak. And I was right. Drew Gulak won. I'm going to X that out. Drew Gulak won his match against Tony Nese and Akira Tozawa. That's it. Didn't watch it, so there's no reason for me to sit here and break it down. The next match after that... First up, the main, the show came on. Luckily, it was less commercials. I did notice that. So that was a good thing. First match of the night was the Raw Women's Championship. That was Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. Lacey is a terrible wrestler. Becky literally talked her through the whole match. You can hear her say, throw me over here, go over here, lay down here, slap me. You can hear her guide her through the whole entire match. I will give Becky that she's that much of a team player to where she's trying to get this woman over in the process of trying to wrestle her. I don't see how that works, and I don't see how anybody didn't get hurt at that moment, at those moments. Some things I took away in my notes. Pretty much set the tone of the show. I noticed that Seth was being mentioned every time Becky was shown. Oh, here comes the Raw Women's Champion, and her boyfriend, Seth Rollins, is also a champion, and he's going to be, fighting tonight, and Seth Rollins and Becky are in a relationship. I was sitting there like, why the fuck they keep mentioning that they in a relationship? Who the fuck cares? Later on in the review, it made sense why they kept mentioning Seth being Becky's boyfriend over and over again. Like I said, she was given directions. There was one spot where Lacey had pulled Becky to the side of the ring, and she was pulling her hair, her legs, and I could see where she was overdoing it, and Becky had to grip her hair because it looked terrible. She was really racking her across across the side of the ring. That was a notable spot for me because it looked bad, and I just said, respect to Becky, that she was giving this woman all these directions during the whole match. You can hear her clearly. It's going to be on Botchamania, believe me. And one part that I thought was funny is when Becky stuffed the tissue back in Lacey's mouth. That was funny. And that was it. Becky retained. And in my predictions, I thought Lacey was going to win. Because the push that Lacey's getting, I just figured she was going to win. But I guess you don't have to win to get a push. So that was that. Was it a good match? No, it wasn't. By no means. Absolutely not. I don't think it was a good match at all. I think it was Lacey's a terrible wrestler. That's just simple as that. The only reason why she's there is because she has long legs, like she said in the beginning. Long, tall drink of water. She curries favors to get what she wants. Called herself a whore. And she's blonde hair with big titties and little butt meat hanging out her outfits. That's the only reason why Lacey's there. Because Vince McMahon would like to fuck her. And he wants you to want to fuck her too. There you go. The woman's a terrible wrestler. Period. I asked myself, where do we go from here? She lost. You would think she lost. Move to the back of the line. Let's get something new going. Not WWE and not this day and age. After that, this commercial came on with Mustafa Ali, and he was like, they were showing these people going through some strenuous times, and he was like an Avenger. I don't know what that's leading up to, but I guess they wanted you to know Mustafa is still around, folks. Don't count out Mustafa Ali, right? Okay. Let's go into the second match. The second match of the night was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But before that started, Kayla was in the hallway and she came up to knock on Baron Corbin's door. Paul Heyman was in there with Baron Corbin. Don't know what they was talking about. Maybe Baron Corbin's going to be a Paul Heyman guy. I mean, why not? His heel heat is just that terrible. Might as well go ahead and join Baron Corbin and the Beast. In the process, Kayla was trying to ask him a question about, the match, and then Baron proceeds to allude to her wanting to fuck him. He said, I'm beginning to feel like you wanted to do more than just ask questions, and she's looking like, what? That was that segment. Then we went into the match with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the New Days, Big E and Xavier Woods. My prediction to win that was, I actually thought that was going to be an opening match, and I went for the New Day, and I was wrong because Sami Zayn ended up winning, and Kevin Owens ended up winning. It was a decent match, and that was it. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say somebody did a step up insecurity and all that. It was a decent match. I watched it. And that's it. The heels went over. I said, what's next for KO and Sami Zayn? Are we going to continue this going back and forth? You beat them, you're done. Who knows? Alright, so after that, we went into a segment with Alexa and Nikki backstage talking about Nikki losing her tag team opportunity, and Nikki felt that Bayley sucks. There you go. That was before we went into my match of the night, was the U.S. Championship, Ricochet versus Samoa Joe. I actually took notes because that was a good match. That was my match of the night. I figured that Samoa Joe was going to retain. He did not. Some notables, this is what I took away from the match in my notes. Ricochet fell during his entrance pose, so that's going to be Botchamania. An insecurity, and it looks really terrible on Joe. Joe did an insecurity on Ricochet. Looked horrible. Slammed the fuck out of him. Ricochet was selling so good. The match was moving kind of slow because Joe's a big dude. Ricochet was making Joe look extremely powerful. Ricochet did a two-step insecurities, took Joe down, but he was bullshitting, so he couldn't pin them. That was notable. And in the end, Ricochet did a 630 and pin and beat Samoa Joe for the United States Championship. It was the shock of the night. Ricochet was excited. Everybody was excited. And what I took from this is that something Joe did to Vince McMahon, because he's a complete loser. Samoa Joe talks cash shit. And I'm talking about heavy duty, I'm going to take your arms off and shove them up your ass kind of shit. And never follows through. So maybe Samoa Joe is going on vacation. Maybe that's what it is. Because I don't understand why this man has yet to have a lengthy reign with the first title he ever got in the WWE. I don't get it. Don't get it. He lost. He still looks strong. But he lost. So what are we going to do next? Where does Joe go from here? That's my question. Samoa Joe's a loser. Let me see what else I wrote. Anyway, the camera. The camera work tonight was absolutely terrible. It was a lot of slams and hits that were being missed. At one point during the Kofi King, I'll get to that in a minute. The camera work tonight was terrible. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so after Ricochet won, he went backstage. You had people back there clapping. I saw Carmella. I saw, I don't remember. I did see Carmelo. It was a couple of them backstage clapping for him. Triple H comes up. The crowd is going wild. Tacoma Tacoma showed their ass tonight. I loved everything Tacoma had to offer. We was talking a shit about Tacoma because who goes to Tacoma, Washington? They was like Brooklyn tonight, okay? Triple H came in, gripped his boy. That's one of his babies. NXT alum. Said congratulations and hugged Ricochet. The crowd loved it. Then at that point, Heavy Machinery comes out like the Bushwhackers, and we go straight into the SmackDown Championship. Heavy Machinery versus Daniel Bryan and Redwood. I forgot his name because they keep calling him Redwood. So there's that. Daniel Bryan and Rowan. There we go. Match was cool. Some takeaways. Some points that I wrote down for the match that caught my eye. Crowd wanted Daniel Bryan. They didn't give a fuck. Okay, they cheered Daniel Bryan loud and clear, which unfortunately is terrible for the new baby faces that are Heavy Machinery. I don't know who thought this was going to be a good idea, taking Daniel Bryan to his hometown of Washington. He's not from Tacoma. He's from something close to it. I forgot the name of it. Aberdeen. And they was excited to see him. They didn't give a fuck that he was a heel. They booed Heavy Machinery. Another takeaway, the crowd was chanting, "We recycle." The crowd chanted loud and clear tonight. I loved it. Love the chants. Heavy Machinery, they weren't going over. Like I told you, it wasn't their fault. It was the booking. You booked them against a heel in his hometown. It wasn't working out for them. I don't know who even thought of that, but that's WWE. Otis started humping at one point. He started eating the yes kicks, and then he got the humping and then, doing all kinds of moves with his area, and then he got booed. Roll-up pin, he did the worm. Didn't matter. Roll-up pin, that was it. Heavy Machinery in the end looked good, okay? I think I got that one right. I went for Daniel Bryan. Okay, I got that one. So I got one. I got two because I also said Drew Gulak. Okay, 2 down. Here we go. After that, we went into match number 5, which was the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. It was a terrible match. Didn't care for it too much. It literally was like, having to write a paper and doing the minimum. Alexa overpowering Bayley is a joke in itself. I don't know why she's even allowed to do that, but she does it. Anyway, so what I noticed from the match, the vignette was very Alexa Bliss heavy. Okay, you know how they give you a synopsis of what's going on, and WWE does great vignettes, great little movies for you to get you pumped. The whole vignette was Alexa Bliss. If you think I'm joking, go back. I think they showed Bayley 2 times. Whole vignette was Alexa Bliss. I think Nikki looks silly. She looks like a puppy. She looks washed out. She looks like she's in a trance. I don't know where they're going with her. She was in Alexa Bliss's side at the match. One of the Bayley buddies didn't blow up. That'll be on Botchamania. That same thing happened during her and Sasha Banks' tag match. That's why I thought, oh shit, the Bayley buddy didn't blow up. She about to lose. I actually went for Alexa in this one, so I did lose this one. Alexa got Bayley in the hole. That's what she was holding her down for about a good majority of the match. Bayley was looking real weak out there. There was a weird combination. I don't know, like in the middle, they was rolling around, and at some point, Alexa did some like acrobatic flip. The crowd was confused, because no one responded to it. What else? Nikki proceeded to interfere, and because of her interference, that somehow confused Alexa from doing her Twisted Bliss, and Bayley did the Bayley, belly to Bayley, and pinned her, and retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. My question is, Alexa Bliss is a Raw superstar. Nikki Cross is a Raw superstar. Nikki Cross, no, yes, she is. I believe she was. She's following her the fuck around, so I don't know. Nikki seems to have an issue with Bayley for whatever reason. This issue between Bayley and Alexa should end right here at Stomping Grounds, but I get the feeling it will not, and it will continue to go. Let's keep on rolling. We doing good. There's a segment where Ricochet is backstage taking pictures with his new Universal Championship. You know, he's feeling fine and everything. And all of a sudden, the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, comes up to him. And they was like, ooh, we like your belt. You cute or whatever. And then here comes AJ Styles. He was like, yeah, you know, congratulations. So I'll see you Monday. I said, okay. We have AJ Styles talking about touching that Raw, touching that Universal, that U.S. Championship on Raw at some point. We'll see what happens. Boom. Going to match number 6, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. A lot went on. I got a lot of notes. We're going to run through it. Notable, I said, we already know that there's a triple threat match lined up for Extreme Rules, so that let me know that no matter the outcome of this match, this feud is not going to end, and I don't think it's going to end till SummerSlam. I don't know. With that being said, Roman came out, got booed. Shane McMahon got booed. Both of them are some magnificent, sexy men. I just wanted to point that out. They were like two sexy bookings. Roman was going after Shane at one point, like he forgot he was in the whole entire match. When he went to jump on Shane, and I guess he was going to land on him, Drew caught him in the air and punched him in the face. Shane chokes Roman when the ref wasn't looking. These are all false pinfalls. Every pinfall, they were popping out of them. My question during the match was, so are we really booking Drew that fucking week that he can't pin Roman clean? That's how we're booking him? He needs a 51-year-old man to help him beat Roman Reigns? These two big, strong, 6'5", 6 foot, and I think Drew is, what, 6'6"? Roman's 6'5"? You mean, and they're in their mid-30s? Healthy, virile, ass, hairy men can't fight clean? Not good look for Drew. Just letting you know. I don't even know what the fuck Shane, listen. This is awful chant. Tacoma was very loud and very clear. Shane snaps Roman on the ropes. Again, Shane trying to ring the bell during a submission clinic. They were just twisting each other. Superman punched the Shane 2 times. Drew slams Roman on the table. There was a superplex by Drew. Roman kicked out. Drew charged up. He was feeling like he was going to claymore somebody. I felt at some point that the match was too long. Roman then speared Shane. Roman speared Drew. Shane pulls the ref out the ring and kicks Roman. Kicks Roman in the process while the ref somehow, he pulled the ref out the ring, and somehow the ref hurt his knee, and fucking Corey Graves said he shattered his knee. And while he was on the floor writhing in pain, Shane jumps into the ring, kicks Roman, and beat him into the corner. Shane takes his old fucking ass to the other side of the ring and decided that he was going to do a coast to coast at that point. Connected it, okay? Like I said, the camera work was so fucking terrible. Shane did the coast to coast. The camera was behind Roman. Only reason why, you know, if he connected is Roman, you know, sold it. I'm like, what's with this cameraman? Okay. Ref was still out during the coast to coast. He's still over there trying to figure out what's going on with his knee. Drew pins Roman. Drew tried to pin Roman and then gets kicked out. He kicked out after the coast to coast. 51-year-old Shane McMahon is sweating profusely. Drew tries to Claymore, got Superman punch, flipped Shane out the ring. Roman ran through, Superman punched, let me say that again. Roman Superman punched Drew in the process of a Claymore. Shane tried to dive into the ring, got flipped out the ring. Drew, and then Roman spears Drew and pins him for the win. There you go. Okay, got it out. Woo! My next question is, what's next? We already know what's next, even though the commentators were like, this is it. This is it. There's nothing more to be said about this. No, we're going into Extreme Rules. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you what's next, because at one point, wait a minute, let me, before I even say that, because I don't want to jump ahead of myself. We'll save that. Just know it ain't over. All right? Then we go out. We're going into the 7th match of the night, which is the WWE Championship in a cage match. But after that, I'm just really sad that Drew is a loser. Just wanted to throw that out there. He's a loser. He can't do nothing without this old fucker. He's a big, strong ass man. He should be a mega heel on this show. He should be the only heel on the show at this point. There's no need for Shane to be in the room, but he is there. Don't know why. It makes Drew look terrible. Terrible. He looks like a fucking lackey. Whatever. We're going into the WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. I actually said Dolph Ziggler to win because I'm tired of Kofi Kingston. If you listen to my last video about the curious case of Kofi Kingston, I explain why I'm over it. And for Roman and versus Drew, I chose Drew, so I lost that. And I lost the WWE Championship as well. And I lost the Women's Championship because Bayley retained. Okay. So, let me take a drink. Alright, so we get this Kofi Kingston cage match. It was boring. We start out, Kofi comes out throwing pancakes. No seriousness at all. Didn't care for that. Like I said, it was boring to me. Hanging off the top. At one point, they was hanging off the top of the cage. There was a part where they was hanging off the top of the cage and they fell into the ring. You didn't see it because the cameraman was filming the stairs. If you noticed that. Okay, so there's that. Like I told you, the camera was terrible all fucking night. Terrible. Other spots that I picked up on, Kofi gets kicked. Wait a minute. Oh, Kofi gets kicked and almost rolls out of the ring, the cage, okay? Kofi jumps over Dolph to win the cage match. There was a couple points where they was hanging out the door, okay? Then there was a point where I guess Kofi was trying to rope break. The commentators was like, you can't do that in a steel cage match. So I tweeted, the only person that could rope break in a steel cage match is Shane. Because remember, when he had that match against The Miz, he rope braked in the middle of a cage match. He's the only person that could do it. There you go. Match was boring, didn't care for it. So I'm telling you right now, for whatever reason, Dolph, it should have been me, was crawling out of that ring as if he was comatose, and that gave Kofi Kingston, the high flyer, to dive over him and land on the floor and retain his championship. There you go. They had a celebration. It was an interview. I'm over it. That's it. Kofi Kingston, oh, you know, I'm the man. I was just like, okay, whatever. We need to do something else with that. Dolph is not going anywhere. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Dolph will continue to feud with Kofi Kingston, okay? He will be back to say it should have been me. Even though this right here should end the feud. He'll be back. Believe that. After that, Drew is upset. Him and Shane are walking backstage. And Kayla asks, you know, why are they losers? To which Shane said, oh, you think that's what we're going to let that happen, what just happened? Oh, no. He looks at the camera. He said, Raw tomorrow, 2-on-1. Me and Drew on top of, what's his name? Damn. Me and Drew on top of Roman Reigns. Handicap match. Crowd booed. I rolled my eyes so hard that I had to take an ibuprofen. Then we go into the main event. Let's just keep on rolling. We go into the main event. A lot was going on in the main event. So much so that I didn't care for the main event. I would like to know who wrote the main event. And I want to tell them to go fuck themselves, okay? The reason why I played Lacey Evans in the beginning of this podcast is because Lacey Evans is getting the push equivalent to Hulk Hogan. She's getting the push equivalent to The Rock. I think Lacey Evans is getting the John Cena treatment. She's a loser, but she's still being pushed as if she's some type of winner. Curry and Favors, she's fucking somebody, and I'm going to tell you why. Main event. I just made points, okay? We got Baron Corbin coming out. Seth Rollins against Baron Corbin. Who gave Baron Corbin the permission to even pick a referee? Don't fucking know. We're not going to get an answer to that. Seth comes out with a chair to the ring. The commentators mentioned that he is Becky's boyfriend and they're fucking. I pointed out that Baron looked good. His beard looks nice. He got a little gray in it. He looked kind of sexy tonight. I'm not gonna lie. I like Baron as a man, you know, outside of wrestling. His character's terrible. But him, he's a good looking dude. I'm just saying, with the whole goatee thing he got going on, I was like, okay, I see what's going on. He's kind of good looking tonight. Referee announced. The referee was gonna be announced, but Seth had to bust that up, talk shit, told Baron, listen, stop playing with me. Whoever you announce, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of them with this chair. So hurry up and announce it so we can get this on. Baron Corbin announced, he said, Lacey Evans, the sassy Southern Belle. Her music came on, but dun, she came strutting down the damn, strutting down the catwalk in her 1940s get-up referee outfit. She gets in the ring. She steps to Seth. I'm sitting here like, well, go ahead and beat her fucking ass. You said you was going to beat anybody who came to the ring to referee. He sure didn't. I said, you know what? Back in my day, Stone Cold would have stunned that bitch. Somebody reminded me that can't happen no more. Okay? I said, then this is why they keep talking about Seth and Becky fucking, because Becky's finna come out. This is what I was saying to myself. I said, Becky about to come out and help her boyfriend, because this bitch is working him over. So much so that the match was absolutely fucking terrible. Now, Baron Corbin looked good. He was wearing Seth Rollins' ass all the way out. Baron Corbin takes the chair, proceeds to beat Seth. Nothing happened. Lacey's walking around looking nuts. Every time Seth pinned him, Lacey was 1, 2. She said, oh, my shoulder. Here are the notable crowd chants. At one point, they were calling Becky for a couple points. They were calling Becky. This is stupid chants. AEW chants. Daniel Bryan chants. CM Punk chants. This is boring chants. And NXT chants. All through this match, which just kept fucking going. Okay, while I was watching this match and I'm sitting here looking at this bullshit, I said, you know what? This is setting up Lacey and Becky in Extreme Rules. I guarantee you, if it's going to be an Extreme Rules, it's going to be a chairs match. We keep going. Becky keeps counting slow. Corey says she's a Southerner and thus she's retarded. That's why she's counting slow. Becky chants. Seth puts Corbin through a table. Lacey's counting slow as fuck. Then all of a sudden she changed the rules. She said, come here. Listen, we're not doing no countouts. No countouts. Get him back in the ring. I said, who the fuck is giving her... You're just a special referee. You don't have no rules to change, no balls to change the rules. Who told her she could change the rules? Who she sucked back there? Change the rule. Seth gets up, brings Corbin back into the ring. Baron goes for the cover. Lacey didn't count fast enough. She's 1, 2. People are leaving visibly. in the back. When you look, people are getting up, leaving. I don't know if they're going to the bathroom or they like, you know what, fuck it. Lacey's fucking up, won't count for Seth. Long and boring is what I'm thinking. This is a long and boring match. This is going on and on and on. She changed the rules again. She, at one point, Baron Corbin's beating Seth with a chair. She changed the rules and said a no DQ match. Then Seth delivers a Falcon Arrow. She don't count. She slaps Seth 2 times. Then she blows Seth. And then Becky Lynch comes and runs to the ring to everyone's delight. New official, while she's beating up, Becky's beating up Lacey Evans. It's a no disqualification match, so she can do that. Other referees come to the ring. John Cone, the guy who Baron Corbin felt was screwed down at Super Showdown, he's in the ring. Seth comes in, curb stomps, gets the 3 count, and that's it. There was no cash in this evening, even though at one point, remember, Baron Corbin was in there with Paul Heyman. Why the fuck was Paul Heyman on the show? He just was on the show to let you know that Baron Corbin has the briefcase and he's somewhere on a farm shooting deer or chewing tobacco with them raggedy ass fucking teeth. Then he walked off. There was no cash in tonight. Becky comes and they look at each other. They raise each other's arms. He hugs her. She slaps him on the butt. They're hugging. Everybody's cheering. They're holding each other. They're looking each other's face. I'm like, if you're going to kiss, you might as well. That's it. There goes WWE Stomping Grounds. Now, this is my predictions for Extreme Rules. We already know that it's going to be a triple threat match, right? There's also, last time I checked, there's also a match against Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler. Okay. What else? AJ Styles versus, remember the question marks? Versus Ricochet for the United States Championship. There goes your question mark. The person that was also back there clapping for Ricochet was Charlotte. Look for Charlotte to come and step to Bayley at some point. What other matches I think we could pull out this ass? I believe Lacey Evans and, like I told you, Lacey Evans and Becky are going to have an Extreme Rules match with a chair involved. What else we going to have? I would predict that a mixed match challenge is going to happen between Lacey Evans, Baron Corbin, Seth, and Becky. It's either going to be on Raw or it's going to be in Extreme Rules. Okay? Because that right there would cover 2 matches right there. There tonight was no Intercontinental Championship. There was no Raw Championships. And there was no Women's Tag Title on the line here at Extreme Rules. I'm sorry, here at Stomping Grounds. Maybe Extreme Rules will also have the Kabuki Warriors versus the tag team of, what's the name, the Iconics, because in Tokyo, the Kabuki Warriors were granted a match, and whoever wins that match will be able to fight for the titles at some point. That's going to be at Extreme Rules. I wouldn't be surprised if the New Day versus Kevin Owens again at Extreme Rules. I'm guessing Extreme Rules is gonna shape up to be another rematch of sorts. But a couple of your boxes are already filled if you pay attention to Stomping Grounds tonight. So that's really it. Overall, I give it a C. It did what it was supposed to do. It was a pay-per-view that really didn't mean much. It set up some other long-running feuds. Shane McMahon's not going anywhere. What's next for Alexa Bliss? What is Nikki gonna do? Because she kind of interfered with Alexa Bliss. Are them two gonna fight? Bayley. I'm sure it's gonna be Charlotte's gonna step into the picture. Because who else? They're not pushing nobody else that isn't blonde and pale and white. Also, an Extreme Rules match that's being built up is going to be Ember Moon versus Fire and Desire. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. I can see that's going to be shaping up because they keep bullying her. Yeah. I could literally make an Extreme Rules predictions way before July 14th because it's so predictable. So that's it, you guys. Let me take a drink. Okay? Gotta stay hydrated, right? That's it. That's my Stomping Grounds review. Hope you enjoy. Please, thumbs up, thumbs down. Subscribe if you like what I'm giving. Hit the comments. Have fun. Give me some feedback. I accept all feedback. And see you here next time. Alright, y'all. Later.